All right, it is now 10 o'clock. I am going to welcome Kristen Fredericks. This recording is being done on February 10th of 2022. If you're watching this back, just so you have a time, date, and stamp as you start. All right, Kristen, turning it over to you.
Okay, thanks so much. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. As I mentioned to Tim earlier before you got in here, it's a little bit different for me because I'm training in the office today, which means I only have one screen, so I cannot see your shiny happy faces. So if you do have a question, please throw it into chat or raise your hand. I have Tim and Haley in here today who will help answer any questions and also interrupt me if I need to, but I won't be able to actually see it for once. Just as a reminder, I know Tim date stamped this before we started, but National Home Valuation Week is next week. Hopefully you saw that on your advertising calendars that came out. It is a big deal. We're going to be running a lot of advertising on it. We have created some things that I'm going to show you today that you'll be able to use for National Home Valuation Week. This will not apply, of course, if you're watching the replay on this, but all the resources that we have for Buyside and where they're located in Town Central will be exactly the same. They just won't say National Home Valuation Week on it. So I just wanted to clear that up before we get started. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Go. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off just to preserve some bandwidth here. And today we're going to be talking about Buyside and how to generate seller leads using your home valuation system. So you can access Buyside at any time through Town Central. Let me go ahead and blow up this screen just a little bit so that you guys can see it a little bit better. There we go. You can access Buyside at any time on Town Central through this Buyside button right here. This is a single sign-on or SSO. You do not need any username and password in order to sign on to Buyside. Buyside does a lot of things for us. This is where we add our coming soon listings. This is where we can add buyers to the buyer match system. This is where we can run those BMAs. We're going to be talking about that in the next class. But the one very specific thing we're going to talk about today is your home valuation system that you have in here. I do want to let you know that most of our resources that we have for Buyside on Town Central are available anytime under this search bar. So it's really long. You'd sometimes miss it, but this search bar right here under resources and news, you can search anything in here. So if you put in Buyside, you'll be able to get into things like our links for Buyside, any of the Buyside webinars that we've done, any Buyside information that we have. Here's what we're going to be talking about today, the Buyside 5 ways to promote your AVM or your automated valuation system, your home valuation system right here. This is what we're going to be talking about. And then also we're going to be talking about some follow-up on your Buyside. So all of this information is still available under here if you need it. And then we also have done a bunch of marketing minutes on Buyside and lots of different topics in here, just some general overviews. We've also done some things about how to share your stuff to social media, working with buyers and sellers. And here's a Buyside webinar that was actually done by the vendor. And as Tim mentioned, we also have some Buyside information under our training YouTube. So there's plenty of resources for you to get back to even after this class if you're looking for more resources. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here. We're going to go ahead and log in to Buyside. I have this already up and running up here on my screen. So if I had clicked through, I would have gone straight into Ralston's account. We're going to be acting as Ralston today because I wanted you to see what's available on the site. When you're working with buyers, these are the buyers that are in the system that you've already put in the system. So in this case, Ralston is working with one buyer right now, George McBuyer. And he has put in some information about this buyer. This buyer is looking for some York County schools. They're looking to purchase by the end of April. There's a bunch of other information hidden behind here, but all of these buyers that you put into the system are going to help generate those home valuation reports that are going to be run. So as I say with this Buyside tool, this is all about buyer matching, and it's all about making sure that we get buyers in touch with listings and listings in touch with buyers, but this also means that it's a collaborative environment. We need you to put your buyers into the system so that when you see some of these reports that are going to come out of here, they look great for you, but they also look great for other agents. And that way you can also start making those buyer matches and those connections, oftentimes even before it goes on the market. So let me get back to my screen's a little bit different here just because of the way that I'm working on it today. There we go. I'm on Ralston's website here. And everybody should have this button. And if you don't have this button either in your navigation bar, you may also have it as a call to action down here at the bottom. So the home valuation call to action. If you do not have the home valuation report as either a call to action or in your navigation bar, you can add it at any time if you know how to edit your website and you're comfortable doing that. If you're not, or you're not sure how to do it and you want to add it before we go into home valuation week next week, just drop us a note at web support at bhhstown.com and we'll be happy to go ahead and put it into your navigation bar for you. Every single agent has their own link to the home valuation system. So in this case, here's Ralston's homevalue.bhhstownrealty.com/Ralston Audain. That slash and name after this changes based on what your login is to Town Central. So it's going to be your first name and last name. This is unique to you. You can share this on your social media. You can add it to your any kind of print advertising that you're putting out. You can add it to your email. All of the leads that come through this with your name after it will go to you. Everything is, of course, branded to you. This all pulls in from Town Central with your picture and all of your information on here as well. So what the home valuation system does, this is a public facing portal. You're basically telling people, find out how much your home is worth, get a free instant report. There's lots and lots of different ways to say this, but what will happen is somebody can come to this and they will go ahead and put in their address. I am actually going to use my mother-in-law's address today. Please do not contact her. She is not ready to sell her home right now. But you'll notice that as we go through this, it's going to start to auto-populate for people who are putting their address in. And it's going to try to match it to a specific address in the system. If I go ahead and click on that, this is my address in Suffolk here for my mother-in-law's house. It's going to pull in some basic information. Now, again, this is a free instant report. This is all they have to put in. Don't forget that when people are running this and this comes to you, this may not be the actual owner of this house. This might be a neighbor, but usually it's the owner that's looking for something. What has happened right now on the other side is that Ralston has now received an email that says, hey, somebody has checked the value of their home at 1710 Colonial Ave, Suffolk, Virginia, 23434. It's going to give you some tips to do some follow-up, but it's also going to give you the person's name. Now, that doesn't mean that they've put their name into the system. It just means that that's the name that's matched from the tax record. So right now, Ralston's email says that that person has checked at 1710 Colonial Avenue, and the name on the tax record that's come in is Marion Carter Estates, and that is what, that's the name of the homeowner that's on here, but it doesn't mean they've actually put in any information. However, we have provided a lot of different ways for people to put in their information to generate even higher quality leads for you. Right now, you have that address. The majority of the time, it is that homeowner. You're going to want to go ahead and make that follow-up, either drop off a buyer market analysis, maybe put that address into a postcard campaign that you're running every month. Maybe run that email through Cole information, or that address through Cole information, and try to get that email address out of it and add it to your Sphere digital ads that you're running. You may even want to run that address through Cole information and just see if you could make a cold call if it's not on the do not call registry, if you're doing that kind of marketing as well. So there's lots of different kinds of follow-ups that you can do. This report has lots of other ways to generate leads, though. It gives everybody an opportunity to try to claim this listing. So you can say, I am the owner. I need to edit this information. This is incorrect. Do I want to receive monthly updates on this property? This is where somebody can put in their first name, last name, and email address. This makes the lead even hotter. So this is going to start to generate even more information. When you're starting to get into sharing this, this link with other people, that's where you can start to expand how you talk about this. Sometimes we say, hey, get your free report. Do you know how much your home is worth? Home values have changed since last year. What does the internet say your home is worth? If you want to turn it kind of on a different edge there. But you can also say something like, get your estimated home value, but also receive monthly updates on this property because values are changing all the time. So you're giving that second call to action. Not only are you getting them to pop in their address just so they get this free report, but then you're saying, we have an opportunity to send you monthly updates on this property. And that's how you can do that on this top piece here. So anywhere you see an edit button, I am the owner, get it now. Anytime you see any of these green buttons, it's just an opportunity to generate even more leads and get more information. So this public report right now is just going to give me some estimated home values. It's going to say, here's things that are powered by public data and home valuations. This is RPR. And of course, this estimate from Zillow. There are 5 or 6 different sources that can be used. And it depends on where you are and what kind of home, which sources will populate here. So if you're using this for something rural, you may only see 2 because we may not have a goods estimate from somewhere. If you may not see the public data come in if those rural counties are not sharing the public data. But you have other sources that are in here as well. So you may see 5 or 6 different types, but there's always at least 2. And then they'll try to pull in a third when they can. So this is just giving me my values. So you can see that it goes all the way from 223, 170 from Zillow, which is completely bogus for this neighborhood, all the way up to 300,300 coming in from RPR, which is a little bit more accurate for this market. But you can see how different this is. I mean, for a consumer, especially in this price range, that's huge. To swing from 223 all the way up to 300. Is a lot, and it's obviously not accurate. And that's the whole point of this, is to show that you are the expert, and they really do need to get an expert value from somebody who really knows this market. And that's where we start to ask for more lead generation. Interested in an in-depth value report from an expert? Contact me. Remember I said anytime you see these green buttons, it's another way to generate a lead. If I were to contact Ralston right here, I could put in my first name, last name, email address, phone number. And if I'm buyer and seller, or if I'm a broker, and hit contact Ralston, he's going to get yet another email that basically says this person has not only checked the value of their home, but they're also wanting more information. We also see the things like this, the condition of the property. If I'm a homeowner and I'm looking at this going, I know my house is worth more than 223,000, my home is worth more than 250,000. Maybe if I change this to an excellent condition, which this home is, it'll change that value. So again, we're just trying to encourage them to keep hitting these buttons and try to generate more leads. We're going to show them where buyers are looking. In this case, the darker the color on these heat maps, the more online activity there are in the last 90 days. So you can see that in some of our obviously our markets where we have more density, and we have some hot markets right now, it's really, really dark red. And then in some of the places it goes out to orange. And then of course in some of our more rural places, there's not as many buyers, not as many online activities, people searching. It turns to yellow. This is just a way to, again, to just generate interest. Okay, we're noticing that it's very active. There's a lot of buyers searching for my area. I want to sell my home. This is what this is trying to encourage. It's also going to give them some basic information. How many people are searching by price range? Take a look at that. So this is where they can start to look, okay, if I price my home at $299,900 versus $300,000, look how many more searches there are in that price range. And in this case, this information for this particular house is really good. This house is actually a 3-bedroom, but could be a 4 very, very easily. And to be able to look at that and say, okay, we have all these people looking for 3 bedrooms, but look how much it expands if I add that 4th bedroom to it. In this case, this house just needs a closet added to a room that they built on, and it could be another bedroom. It's going to show the buyer activity in the last 90 days. Now, all of this buyer activity is coming from multiple sources. So this is going to come from our websites. It's going to come from BHHS. It's going to come from other real estate portals. It has the big Z word in there as well. But these numbers change based on the different activity that's going on. So we can show that we have 11 million online buyer activities in Virginia right now. 202,000 within a 5-mile radius of this home. That's a lot. That's a lot of buyer activity. 58,000 within a 5-mile radius of this home and within the home's price range. So it's going to take that price range from the very low to the very high, and it's going to say what are all of the buyer activities in here. And then of course 25,000 within a 5-mile radius within the home's price range and looking for a 3-bedroom. So again, we're just generating interest. Wow, there are a lot of people looking for this house online. And then it's going to show us the buyers that are searching in the area right now. So it's going to show us the potential buyers for this house searching between 223,000 and 324, which was the high range. And in this case, we have this buyer in here. Now remember, this is a completely public side. These buyers are only identified by buyer IDs. So they don't have any personal information at all about this buyer. They can't see who the buyer is. They can't see who the agent is. They can just see that it's been provided by our company. If they want to find out who that buyer is, again, they can always contact Ralston, and then they can go ahead and put their information in, try to encourage that. Let me scroll up just a hair right here. It's also going to show some supply side trends. And then it's going to also show some recent sales. Now, these recent sales are not clickable. It's one of the #1 questions we got, but it does show them the different sales that have gone on in their community. And you can see that this house in particular, this is a very specific neighborhood in Suffolk. In this case, it's an older neighborhood, but you can see that the home values are much, much more than $223,000 in this neighborhood, especially for homes that have been renovated. And then of course they can contact you. So the reason I've shown you everything that's available on this report is because I want you to use this when you're starting to generate those seller leads and when you're putting this out there on social media, in your email, when you're sending e-cards, when you're running digital ads, whatever you happen to be doing. I want you to be able to say, not only find out how much your home is worth, but you can also use some of these other calls to action. Find out how many buyers are looking for homes just like yours right now. See how many buyers are in the market for a home like yours, and you can talk about that buyer activity. You can say something like, see how popular your area is for buyers right now, and you can talk about using that heat map and trying to encourage people to go ahead and get their estimated home value on here. So it's more than just a home value. We actually are providing this, again, this free report, this free instant report, but this report has so much more in it. And you can find out what your home value is in many different ways to try to encourage people to click, because some ways of saying things will resonate with people versus others. So always try lots of different things and see which ones click with your base. I'm going to go ahead and go back to our dashboard here in Buyside. So again, I'm logged in as Ralston. And I want you to see that we have this button up here called the Home Valuation site. Okay. And if I go ahead and click on that marketing suite, it's going to show me what I can do with my home valuation page. So if I need to get my link for whatever reason, if I hit that preview my site, it's going to go ahead and bring up my site again, that homevalue.bhsstownrealty.com / whatever your name is in the system. It's going to go ahead and bring that up for you. So if you ever need that link. And then it's giving you some things that you can do here. You can either get an email signature for your valuations link. I highly encourage you to do this. So it's also going to give you the instructions for adding that to your email. But here's what you can do. You can just copy and paste this and drop this right into your signature. For those of you who are using Outlook, it's really easy. It's in your settings to be able to just modify your signature, copy that, paste it, and put it right into your e-signature. What's your home worth? Get three automated estimates instantly, no cost and no obligation. You send emails all the time. It's something that's free. It's something that you can just stick at the bottom. And hopefully you can generate leads over time with it, just because of piquing curiosity as you send out these emails. It's something nice and easy. If you want to write your own and you just need to get a link for this, you can go ahead and copy that link, and then you can go ahead and write your own message on here. Again, you don't have to use what's your home worth. You can phrase it any way you want to, and then you can go ahead and link that over. If you need any help adding this to your email signature, do go ahead and contact support@bhsstown.com. Our IT department handles our email and email signatures, and they can certainly help you put this information into your email signature if you need it. So the next thing that it's going to tell you to do is that you can also share this on social media. Now, we've made this nice and easy for you. One of the things that we've built into the system is a graphic that shows up when you share it on social media so that you don't have to create a graphic for it. Now, you certainly can create your own graphic for it, and you can certainly have the marketing department create something custom for you, but we have made this nice and easy. If you want to share it on social media, the buttons here do connect to the various social media accounts if you want to, but you can also just copy and paste your home valuation URL right into social media, and I'll show you how to do that. One of the things I want to show you here, though, and we've talked about this a little bit this morning, is have you been switching up your call to action when posting? Here are some ideas to keep your posts fresh. So this little tip down here, I'm going to just blow up my screen just a little bit more, just so you can see it at the very bottom. This is gold. Calls to action for social media, calls to action for direct mail, calls to action for email, and more. So if I click on calls to action for social media, direct mail, email, and more, it's going to do, here's your top CTAs or calls to action. Discover your home's value. Do you know your home's value? What's your home value worth? Looking to sell? We have buyers. Ready to sell? We have a match for you. And they've already written out lots of ways to say this. So here's all sorts of different ways that you can say, how much is your home worth? How much is your home worth? And find one that you like. So here's one for me. Home inventories are down and home prices are going up, up, up. Do you want to know your home's real value? I'm going to copy this one because I'm going to use this today in one of my posts that I'm going to go ahead and make. All right. So let me show you now that we have this call to action, and we're going to share this to social media. So I've gone ahead and I am logged in right now to my training account here on Facebook. And I'm going to go ahead and post this. So I'm logged in. I'm going to go ahead and create a post. Remember, I copied and pasted that phrase that I wanted to use. It was already pre-written for me. I don't have to worry about it. Home inventories are down and home prices are going up, up, up. Do you want to know your home's real value? And now I just need to go ahead and add the link to my home valuation site. So in this case, I'm going to go back. Here's Ralston's again. I'm just going to grab this URL right here, this homevalue.bhstownrealty.com/RalstonAldane. And I'm just going to copy it. And I am going to paste it right there. Now, remember I said we had that graphic automatically made for you? Here it is. Now is a great time to sell your home. Get your free instant home value report. And then it's going to show you home value estimator by Ralston Aldane. It's going to change to your name. Contact a real estate specialist, Ralston Aldane, to get your home value. So this is ready to go. I don't have to do anything more to this. I have a great call to action on here. I've created a link. It's got a great graphic to it. All I have to do is hit post. That's it. That's all I have to do. And this is what it looks like. Home inventories are down. Home prices are going up, up, up. Do you want to know your home's real value? There's my link. If I go ahead and click on that, it takes me right to what is your home worth. So I definitely wanted to call your attention to both of those things, both your link and that link that's built into Buyside right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add this. It's not added right now into Town Central, but as soon as we're done with this class, I'll go ahead and add this call to action link for you so that you can peruse this and see if there's anything that you would like to do and any kind of phrases that you would like to do on here. All right, you can also share this in social media and that image will show up on LinkedIn. You can show it on Twitter. The only thing that you can't do would be to show it. It won't show up automatically on Instagram, but you can certainly grab that image either from Town Central. It's always available in Town Central if you need to, or create your own or have marketing create one and you can go ahead and post it up to Instagram. Just to show you a couple of other resources for generating those seller leads using your home valuation, I'm going to go back real quick to Town Central, and I want to go ahead and click through to BHHS Resource. Now remember, BHHS Resource is another SSO in our system, single sign-on, so if you log in through Town Central, you don't need a username and password. And I'm going to go into Marketing Resource. So we've recently added digital ads in here as well to Marketing Resource. So normally we use this for e-cards, building flyers and postcards. But I did want to show you that we do have this new section for mobile and desktop ads. And one of the ads that we've added in here is how much is your home worth? So if I go ahead and click on mobile and desktop ads, you'll be able to find the one that is for the how much is your home worth in here. If we just keep on scrolling, here it is. What is your home worth agent mobile and desktop ad? So what is your home really worth? Let me tell you, of course, this would change with your photo and your information. You are able to run these ads on AdWorks, or they have another internal system in here from Chalk Digital, and you can go ahead and add the landing page as your home valuation site, this one right here, and take all of those digital ads and push them right down to your home valuation site. It's all available on here as well. Oops, wrong button here. There we go. You can also search for other things. So we have the prospecting area in here. We do have some social images. We do have some postcards that are available for generating those leads as well in this system. So do think about running postcards either for now is a great time to sell. We have that available in our system in marketing. Share it to social media, making sure that you're putting it in your email signature, changing up your calls to action away from not just how much is your home worth, but using the tools and using the report and using the information that you can provide in there to just try to generate as many seller leads as you can. Again, as we head into home valuation week, if you're watching the replay, this is probably over. But as we head into home valuation week, definitely go ahead and continue to share this and continue to push this out, because we will be pushing it out on top of that from the company. It'll create a great message. It'll be very big. We'll have the halo effect that'll be in play for you to make sure that you're getting these. This is so important right now as inventory is so low, to make sure that you're using this tool and just trying to generate as many seller leads as you can. But the big thing to do will be to follow up afterwards. So again, add them to that direct mail drip. Try to figure out what their email address is through Cole information. Try to run that BMA, maybe drop it by if when that lead comes in. Try to follow up with them any way you can. Maybe if you start to notice that there are some trends with that home valuation as you send it out to your sphere, to your neighborhood spheres, you may want to increase the amount of messaging that you put in there about selling their home. You may want to increase your messaging again about the market conditions right now. They're changing all the time. Run some of those neighborhood stats. Run some of those market stats. They change, every 4 weeks, the new Rain Domus stuff comes out. You can certainly use that. It's very easy to use. And go ahead and send out all that information to try to, again, generate those seller leads. So I'm happy to take any questions that you might have about sharing your home valuation site, using it for generating seller leads, anything else that you can do with the home valuation site.
Anyone has any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself. Raise your virtual hand.
Hey, Kristen.
Yes.
This is Frank.
Mm-hmm.
The postcard or the banner ads,
Mm-hmm.
how does that work? Because I can't seem to get it to work.
So when you are in here, let me see, what is your home worth? It may not work from this account just because I'm on an admin account here. If you use this and do get started, and I can do, how much is my home worth? So there's Ralston. It's going to ask, you can go ahead and change a couple of things on here. If you need to, you can also change this background photo if you'd like. So there is some editing that you can do on here. Wherever you see the green, you can go ahead and edit. If you're done and this is good to go right now, then you can do one of two things. Either share it over to Chalk, which is the big C, which is a digital ad, or you can go ahead and share it to AdWorks. So if you're sharing it to AdWorks, it's going to ask if you want to create a sphere ad. You can, of course, do this with the email addresses that are coming out of Cole information if you go ahead and pull them by neighborhood, or you can go ahead and create a zip code ad if you're just looking to target a particular zip code. In this case, Ralston is not running an ad right now, so this may throw me an error, but I will see. But what it does is it takes this artwork and it loads it up into AdWorks so that you can go ahead and create your ad in AdWorks and go ahead and choose your information, either your sphere of influence, of course, a zip code ad. It's available for those two things.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, we're not running, Ralston's account isn't running a sphere ad right now, so this may throw us an error. Nope, actually it's good to go. All right. So it went ahead and put this over here for us. So it's showing us we have a web ad in here, a mobile ad, a banner ad, and a Facebook ad. Now, the only thing we have to do is add some stuff to that Facebook ad. This is where we're going to add that call to action again. We just have to write our Facebook ad. So I'm just going to put something in here like, just for today, get your free instant home value report. Okay. And then it's going to ask us for a couple of other things. So it's going to say we need to put our header here. So this will be, Ralston, Dane. I'm just going to put luxury collection specialist for the sake of putting something. And it's going to show our site domain down here. And we can also put some other additional text here. So I'm just going to put get, just so you can see where it would go. I'm just going to put this in here.
Okay.
There's plenty. And it's going to show you have 125, 40, and then 200 you can put in here. So then it's going to say next. What do we want to do with this? And then it's going to go ahead. Oops. Ralston's just going to go by his first name for the sake of this. What did I do? Let me run an ad that looks bad. Okay, and then it's going to say, where do we want to have people once they click? So in this case, I certainly want to send them to my home valuation site. So I'm just going to copy that URL And I'm going to put that back in here. And then it's going to ask me to add my contacts. So again, you can add these, all they need is an email address. So you can put, grab your email addresses that you already have in the system, download them and re-upload them from Town Central, download them, re-upload them from Marketing Resource. Certainly use Cole information now that we've given you the Prospect IQ tool to go ahead and download any email addresses that you can find for any of your neighborhood spheres that you're working. You can also do some niche spheres in there as well. So if you're looking for people who have, again, owned their home longer than 10 years, it's a great way to run this ad for that particular niche market, just because those people are more likely to sell. And you can go ahead and upload all those contacts. Once you do that, it's going to ask you to pay. You will get a discount for being with BHHS. But then I also like to say, don't forget to put in your NERDS number from NAR, because NAR also has a program with AdWorks, and you can double dip on those and stack your coupons. So you get your discount from BHHS and you get additional impressions just because you're a realtor. So don't forget to do that. And you can go ahead and get both the discount and additional impressions on there. And then those ads will run. You just choose your time frame, however many weeks you would like to run those, or months. And then you can go ahead and it'll run to those particular contacts with those email addresses. It'll match the email addresses to their IP addresses, and then it'll show on just their computers where they can identify that. It's a great system to be able to use. So works the same way for zip code ads. You just have to, again, just choose your zip code instead of uploading contacts, and then go ahead and do the checkout procedure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No other questions today?
Kristen, we have one in the chat. We have one in the chat here.
Okay, what is it?
Is there a cost for the banner ads?
The only cost that you have for the banner ads would be what AdWorks charges you, and what AdWorks charges you is based on the number of contacts that you upload in this case, or the zip code that you're running. A heavier density zip code is going to be more expensive than one that it doesn't have quite as much density. I always like to use it. I live in Smithfield, so my prices are cheaper than people who live in a super dense area like Norfolk, where you just have more people in a particular zip code. We normally see those zip code ads run between 58 and like 99, depending on the density per month. And then your sphere is based on how many you upload. But again, the cost is actually not that bad considering what you're getting. It's right in that 150 mark, depending on how many contacts you have in the system. So, and Chalk Digital pricing, Chalk Digital is just another vendor. Their pricing is fairly similar to this as well. They start right at around that 50 mark per month or so, and then they go up much higher depending on the number of contacts you have in the system.
All right, and Anastasia, did you have a question? Your hand was up, but it went back down.
Yes. So if I were to create a ad just straight from the Facebook, obviously putting the same links, just not going through AdWorks, does AdWorks at the price cost of Facebook ad plus their service fee, or how does that work?
So AdWorks is completely separate. If you want to run something through the Facebook ad network, like you want to boost your post in here and things like that, you can certainly do that. If I did not want to run through AdWorks at all, but just wanted to go ahead and use this post, for example, and go ahead and boost it, I can go ahead and just boost this on my own if I want to, build my own budget, add my own people, do what I want to do. So there's lots and lots of different options you can use with this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions?
Kristen?
Yes.
Craig in Smithfield. On the AdWorks, is there any benefit to going directly through the AdWorks hot link? Because I think you went through Resource Center, maybe marketing. Are there different templates in there, or?
There are different templates. So for those of you who do not necessarily want to wait for marketing to make something for you, or if you're ready to go now and you like what's in that system, you can go ahead and use those. AdWorks itself does not have artwork built into it. They just have the generic ads that are built into AdWorks. So if you want something specific like the how much is your home worth ads, they have basically pre-built this whole library of ads so that you can go ahead and run instantly without having to wait for somebody to build it. AdWorks does have the ability for you to upload your own ads, and that's where marketing comes in. We are always happy to create custom artwork for things like how much is your home worth, especially if you want it to match maybe a postcard that you're getting ready to send out or a look that you already have. You just have to fill in that marketing order form that's available on Town Central. Just go ahead and put it in as a custom order and let us know what you want. We do AdWorks size ads all the time. And we can always certainly do a custom one for how much is your home worth. But again, if you're just ready to run right now, you want something that really looks great and professional, you can go ahead and run it right through here. All of this stuff is designed. I will say the one thing I do love about the new resource digital ads on here is that you can also change them up. We've worked with AdWorks before where somebody was running like a how much is your home worth now, and then maybe next month they wanted to swap it up to something maybe like one of these overcoming objection ads, a little bit different kind of feel to it. We've worked with AdWorks where they stop the one ad, we push the new creative over, and then they restart it using the rest of the budget that was available in the system. So don't feel like you're stuck on just that ad too. You can certainly use how much is your home worth through the spring market when it's so important, but you can always swap out your creative later. But I do love the fact that they've created all this, and we do have the ability to update some of this and add some of our own spin on these as well. Hopefully that helps.
All right. Any other questions? All right. I don't see any other questions. Nobody unmuting, nothing in the chat, no raised hands. So thank you all for attending this session.